me like a sec.
I'm gonna be intermittently leaving, so.
Yeah, that's fine, Nate. I guess Cyber is fine then, if that's okay.
A sec here.
All right.
What the skins need?
Are you going to be using guidebooks and whatnot?
Yes, I am.
All right, perfect.
Get here.
What tiering system do you want to use?
What do you mean?
Okay, so how do you define fifth dimensional? How do you define inaccessible speed? What do you use to define these things? What tiering system do you use? Character stats? Do you use verse battles?
Well, I use like versus battles and like I think versus battles character stats, like a mixture of the two. If you go to my scaling system, you know exactly how to scale it to my server. Just go up to the top, right? You'll see scaling system. You get to see like for yourself, right?
Yeah, I just didn't know if that was copied from verse battles or not.
Like some of it is, some of it's not. Like you can even see the links to it. I even gave links at the bottom of it, so you know exactly where it comes from.
Yeah, verse battles, character tiering. Yeah.
We're using versus battle.
It looks like a multiple universe today. Oh wait, string theory. I don't agree to using string theory.
Okay. Well, good thing we're not debating on string theory then. Let's see.
Okay. Oh, just for clarification for the recording, we're doing Kratos versus all of JoJo from God of War 3.
Well, you know, actually, give me a sec. So you said all JoJo. I'm going to be more specific on it, okay? So how about I'm going to put Kratos against with the strongest character in JoJo. That seems
Canon
because
JoJo.
he basically.
I'm not accepting, novel cars or anything like that.
Well, no, I didn't say it. No, I'm not going for non-canon. I'm going for canon. That's the point of this.
All right, that's perfectly fine. Who are you using?
So I'm going to be using Tusk ACT4 from JoJo Part 7.
Perfect.
Okay. Give me a second. I'm still collecting the skins where he's like moving in time stop. It's a lot.
Also, don't forget to get it specifying that he's doing it with his raw speed.
Wait a minute. You're saying that he does it with his raw speed?
Well, that's what inaccessible speed would be. Moving in time stop with your raw speed. I'm asking you to prove that he's doing it with his raw speed and that he doesn't have like a resistance to time stop.
Okay then. Look here.
Because I think you'd agree that having a resistance to time stop wouldn't qualify for any form of speed at all.
So wait a minute. If you move in time stop, that doesn't qualify as any speed. No, I disagree with that.
Not if you're using a resistance to the hack. A resistance to the hack is a property of your being that allows you to move. So you wouldn't be doing it with your raw speed on its own.
What's your proof that the other is happening?
Okay, so we use the burden of proof, Loomis, and also I'm not debating you right now, but even if we were to use it, we don't assume that characters are doing it with their raw speed when it's blatant that characters within JoJo have resistance to time hacks.
Okay, wait a minute. So when it comes to resistance with time hacks, the only time that's been shown for a character specifically is when, let's say, JoJo, for example, his stand is the same as the other stand that can stop time, so he can resist it because their stands are the exact same. That's where it applies in that verse. That's the rules of that verse.
Well, we know that JoJo can only use or react to the time stop because he's overriding it with his own time stop, right?
No, that's wrong.
No, it's actually true. That's what he did in the fight. That's what he did to Dio at the end.
No, because you're saying that he overrides his time stop. That's the reason why he can move.
Well, he is counteracting time stop with time stop.
Well, either way, it's still a resistance to that person's ability because he can do basically right. The thing is, when it comes to JoJo and time stop, he doesn't even need to activate. Let's say if someone like Dio stops time, right? It happened in the fight.
Mm-hmm.
He stops time, and JoJo is frozen, and then Dio starts like doing some wild shit, throwing some shit at him, right? And that's when JoJo, since he has a resistance to that time stop, keep in mind it's only for a few seconds, right? Because he doesn't need to technically stop time in order to do that. He keeps fighting for about like 3 or 5 seconds before he is eventually stopped because Dio's is longer.
That's so blatantly obvious that it's a resistance to that hack rather than using his raw speed. Otherwise, he would be able to continuously move without being stopped.
No, I didn't say that Jotaro had inaccessible speed. I never claimed that at all. I'm saying that he has resistance to it.
Yeah, no,
So we
I'm
both agree
agreeing
that
with you.
Jotaro.
Yeah, it's resistance.
Yeah, so Jotaro's stand has a resistance to it, but other stands, since they're not the same stand as the stand that's stopping time, right? If they were able to move in time stop, that would require their stands to be that fast.
Not unless it's specified, no.
Well, in the rules of the verse, man, like unless it's the same like stand, right? Unless it's the same stand, for example, time stop, right? Both have the same abilities, then it has to be the latter. We have to assume it's the other because the verse is it's eliminating the options. It's already made clear that one, like basically, if you have the same stand as the person that's stopping time, you can stop time too. You can resist it because you could do the same exact thing. But if you don't, and you're able to move within that like time stop realm, then that's just your speed in general.
But there's no instances in JoJo where characters move through the time stop with their raw speed. Johnny gets literally countered by it, right? We know in part 7, obviously. We also know Jotaro gets countered by it. Who actually moves them? Could you clarify that for me?
No, Tusk ACT4 moves through it.
And then he freezes again, yeah. He moves for a split second.
No, but in the other, like so when Diego, he stops. I'm still posting a sec.
Yeah,
God
when,
damn it, this
when
thing is
Diego
fucking long.
stopped time, he Tusk Act 4 moved for a second, and then he froze.
Yeah, but you were forgetting that the second time he time stopped, Tusk ACT4 legit moved no problem and killed many people on Diego's back.
Yeah, then he froze again.
He didn't freeze again.
I'll get it up.
Give me a sec here.
I know the
All right,
infinite
there it is.
rotation was capable of moving.
Okay, so you agree that so the infinite rotation is Tusk ACT4, so you just agreed that he can move in it. You just said it moved. You just said it moved.
Yeah, that's what I literally said earlier. It moved and froze.
So that means he. Okay, no.
That's what I just said.
Okay, the first time it did, but the second time it didn't. So now you're okay. So basically, right now you're agreeing that it moves. Okay, that's important because it moved where it should have been able to move, which was time stop. And they're clearly both of the stands aren't the same stand. It's never said or shown.
Yeah, that doesn't have to be said or shown. It's blatant that it isn't with its like raw speed because it still freezes.
No,
if it was with its raw speed, it wouldn't freeze to begin with. It would have a continuous flow of movement.
No, because listen, all right. So I already told you that I agreed the first fight, right? The first point where he time stopped that he basically moved a teeny bit, but the second time he moved like casually like throughout all of it. I can show you the scan right now.
What's the chapter?
As soon
I'll just get it up myself.
Just go to the fight with Diego. But anyway, so look, okay. So as soon as Johnny,
chapter that is?
Okay, no, but it's the same. It's the fight we're talking about. Just really.
I obviously don't know the exact chapter. You don't need to like resort to absurdity and be a jackass or anything. Like, do you remember what chapter it is? Yes or no? No need to be an asshole.
No, I don't think that matters right now.
It doesn't matter what chapter it is, so I can't get the scans up? Dude, what's wrong with you?
Wait, what? Wait a minute. Okay.
I'm looking
so now
through
you're
it
trying
myself.
to blame me for not remembering chapters.
No, I'm just saying, if you don't know, man, just tell me. That's fine. I'll just look it up myself. I'm just asking because I'm trying to get to it quickly. It's like, be cool, man. So the first time, I got it anyway. So the first time, he freezes, right? When the knives are being thrown at him. Yeah, he freezes completely. Diego then runs away, right? Or continues on with the race or whatever because he was tasked. That's fine. Johnny can't react. That's cool. Then we go to the next chapter. Yeah, he then freezes again within like the little hole that you posted. That's the second time he froze.
Yes, and as you can see, hold on, before you proceed any further, as you can see, right, as soon as Johnny shot his Tusk ACT4, that's when Dio stopped time, and it was still moving, okay? as you can literally see, everything's frozen. And you can even see Dio right there. He's in color because everything's frozen around because he stopped time. And Tusk
Yeah.
Act 4 moved through it casually. That is inaccessible.
Well, it's not casual if it then freezes.
It didn't freeze.
I literally
Where's
just
the scan
posted
where
it
it froze?
freezing, bro.
Nope. That was the first time stop. We're talking about
That's the second time
The
stop.
second. That's not the second. Wait a minute.
Okay,
wait a minute.
what I
Sorry.
mean by second is that at this point, Dio had stopped time twice. This is the second instance where Johnny is reacting to the time stop.
Okay, let me bring some clarification and context on this because I don't think you get the context. The first context of it was when he first froze time, right? Johnny was literally like he wasn't even using Act 4. He was just using Tusk Act 1, and he didn't even know that Dio could stop time because he's facing an alternate version of it. Now, the second time he stopped time, right? That's when he placed the wires up, and then Johnny was like, "Shit, I need to fucking kill this guy because he's a troublemaker." Okay, shoots Tusk Act 4, then Dio stopped time again. Okay, Tusk Act 4. As we clearly posted, right? He twitches and Dio is scared shitless, okay? And so Dio knows not to underestimate Johnny because of what Valentine told him. He's like, yo, that Tusk Act 4 is no joke, okay? And then we move on to the third time stop where it's blatantly shown that literally Tusk Act 4 in time stop is just moving like around it. It doesn't matter if it's casual or not, but it's blatantly shown he's moved through it like it's nothing. The whole time stop. And he didn't stop.
The
So it's
third time,
inaccessible.
was that when he was on the bridge? Because I don't think you understand what speed scaling is. So the third time, was that on the bridge where you're saying
No,
he moved indefinitely?
No. Stop trying to. No, hold on a minute. Stop trying to move to somewhere else. I want you to
I'm going to
focus
what
on
you're
what I'm
talking about, dude. You said in the third instance
not.
he was
No.
moving consecutively. Is that what you just said? I'm asking, was that on
No,
the bridge?
now you're trying to. No, it's not on the bridge. It's this part we're talking about. I know where you get that notion from.
Yeah, the
It's
part
not
that
on the
we're
bridge.
talking about then is what I had just posted where Tusk Act 4 was like walking through the hole and then he froze. Then you said there was another instance after that where he was moving indefinitely. That's what you said.
Yes.
I have it on record. Yeah, so when was that? Tell me.
I just showed you. I told you that. I already told you that.
You have where? Like that's why I asked. When was it on the bridge? When was it?
Oh my god. It doesn't okay. At this point, it doesn't matter if it's on the bridge or not.
No, I'm
Here,
just trying to get it up so that I can show the recording on the screen, like the consistency.
Look at the consistency. Look at what's posted on above. Okay, look at that. All right. So that's not on the bridge. Okay, but it shows Tusk Act 4 moving when time is stopped, as you can clearly see in those two scans. All right. So that's inaccessible. It did it with its sheer speed alone. It's moving that fast, and it's not the same
Is the
stand
blue
as the
meant to
other person's
represent
stand.
time being stopped?
Yes, it is. That's how the series always has it. And as you can see, Diego is in full color because he could move in time stop because he's the one who stopped time. And now you see Tusk Act 4 is also color because he's moving in it.
Well, I'm gonna get up that exact same scene because I don't really care much for fan colors, right? But I'll get up the actual scene. Yeah, so it was on the bridge.
The actual scene.
Yeah,
Okay.
in the uncolored manga. Not the fan color.
Doesn't matter because it doesn't change a thing. He's still moved in it.
Yeah, so it looks actually like that he's only really attacking him when time is stopping in the uncolored manga.
No, time doesn't just it's stopping. No, it just stops.
Yeah, but you know that the time stop only occurs over a specific amount of seconds, right? In what would consider to be real time, right? So time stop only lasts. So you don't agree time stop only lasts for 9 seconds then? Okay, that's fine. So how long do you think the time stop lasts? How long does it last for?
Wait a minute. Wait, repeat that again.
So what I was asking was so like it looked as though he had stopped time, right? As Tusk Act 4 was punching, and then time had resumed and they had died. That's what's shown in this panel right here. I'll repost it.
Yeah. Okay, so all right, then what are you getting at then?
So that he's not doing it with raw speed, and the effect occurs after the time stop had ended.
No, that's wrong.
That's what's shown. What are you talking about?
No, that's not what's shown. Hold on a minute. So you're saying, okay, now I'm going to clarify two things. First, right? The first thing is that I think Diego says that he can stop time for about like 5 or 6 seconds. That's what he said.
It's something
That's a
like
long
I
time
know
for you
that
to
it's
stop.
like what Star Platinum's full potential time stop is like or something. Yeah, it's like 5 or 6. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, continue on.
Okay. Anyway, second, when you say that like, wait, are you trying to You're trying to say that like Tusk ACT4 did this after time has stopped, or after time stop ended, or
No,
something?
I'm saying that he had attacked the women, right? And then the effect of the attack then took place after the time stop had stopped. So like after the effect ended of the area, the time
Okay.
stop, if that makes sense.
So what does that prove? That he still moved in time stop.
So it means that his effect does not actually take place during the time stop, and that his like whole speed shit doesn't occur during it, and it only takes place afterward, or the effect carries on afterward.
So you're saying the effect of his attack carries on afterward, right?
Yeah,
Now that's wrong.
It doesn't occur during the time stop, it occurs afterward. Because it's blatantly shown in the scan that I just sent. He's punching the girls on the right as time is stopped, right? And then time resumes on the left panel. That's blatantly obvious because the background is no longer darkened, right? And
So how do you
then the
know?
effect
Wait,
occurs.
Well, hold on. How do you know, right, that when he stopped time, right, that when Tusk ACT4 punched those women, that time stop was literally just going to end right then and there?
Because we know it lasts 5 seconds.
So we know it lasts 5 seconds, right?
Or 6,
And
whatever.
in the series, or 6. So, okay. The thing is, even then, he still, like, is punching them, regardless.
Yeah, and the
Okay.
effect doesn't actually occur until afterward, right? The point that I'm trying to establish is that it's irrelevant, right? Because if he had actually attacked during the time stop, the effect would have also taken place during the time stop, meaning that what happens is he attacks, freezes, and then the event actually occurs afterward.
So, okay, what does this prove? I'm just
So that proves that he doesn't
curious.
move through it with his raw speed. It would be a resistance to time hacks.
That's not a resistance to time hack. That makes no
It
sense
is.
whatsoever.
It's blatantly a resistance.
No, it doesn't. Okay, so okay, so time stop in the series. Okay. First of all,
I'm
you
just going to
literally
give
said-
you this
I'm not
point
gonna-
because inaccessible
gonna
speed is
accept that.
irrelevant because I have Kratos at inaccessible speed as well. I'll just give you this point because we're not getting anywhere, right? You can just have inaccessible speed. It's whatever.
All right, fine. Thank you. Okay.
Whatever, doesn't matter.
I think it does matter. You're getting a little mad. Let's see here.
I'm not getting mad. I just gave you the point. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if he has inaccessible speed. Doesn't change anything for Kratos.
Okay, we'll see about that.
Yeah, we
Bucko.
will. Yeah, we will. Yeah, because Kratos is going to one-tap him anyway, so.
Oh, he's gonna one tap him. Okay.
Yeah,
let's go
he's
then.
gonna
All
punch
right.
away Tusk ACT4 with a flick of his finger. That's what he's gonna do.
All right. So can you show me why Kratos is 5D?
He transcends
Okay.
time. That
He
would be the
transcends
4D.
time.
Yep, that would be the 4T scaling and the speed scaling for inaccessible speed. And then it stated, okay, so I'll get you the scans first before I continue on.
Okay.
Let me see.
Here, might as well get my scans together real quick.
Yeah. Yggdrasil.
You don't know what's coming. I guess some of shit. Oh,
Right, here you
man.
go. Yggdrasil transcends space and time. Then we know that each cell strand of the tree transcends space and time. Then we know that there are branches that stretch out to infinity, implying infinite cell strands within the tree.
Mm-hmm.
Here's evidence that Thor and Jormungandr splintered it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So that's what you got, right? He transcends space and time. Is that it?
Yep. Inaccessible speed and 4D scaling. Infinite 4D scaling in terms of power and speed.
Wait.
Yep.
You said infinite 4D scaling. Is that like high? Are you saying he's high 4D rather than?
I'm saying
like
it's
5D?
infinite 4D, yeah. I can
So
get into
you're
the
saying he's
5D
high-
scaling later. I don't
Oh,
need
you can
that
get in
right
the 5D scaling. Oh, you don't need it. Oh, you're gonna need it. All
Not
right. So
now, no.
No. Okay.
Well, I mean, if
Okay.
you establish
Alright.
that the character's AP doesn't scale, or the AP of the stand doesn't scale to 5th dimensional, then it doesn't really matter because the damage won't actually affect Kratos, right? But if you want to come down to hacks, we can get into hacks later. For now, he's at infinite 4D, right? And he has inaccessible speed, so.
Oh, that's cool. The thing is, I don't know what your gripe is about hacks and AP. These hacks are gonna like fucking demolish Kratos. I
Well,
don't know why
Kratos
you're
has
interested
resistance to
in it.
causality manipulation, right? Which is what majority of the hacks are. So, like, if
Causality. Whoa, that's not even my character. So stop that right there. That's not even
I
my
wasn't
character.
saying it was your
That's
character, I never said that once. Actually, I was bringing it up in case you were going to bring up the Jer shit or whatever. But if you're
yeah,
strictly,
exactly.
yeah. So, are you strictly using Tusk ACT4?
Yes, I've already said that.
I know. I just established this debate though as Kratos versus all of JoJo, right? So I just want to clarify.
Well,
You don't
actually,
care about all of
well,
JoJo? I'm asking.
well, hold on, because actually, I'm going to go back to the beginning of this debate. Actually, we clarified first that actually Kratos would be going up against Tusk ACT4, not all of JoJo. So stop trying to flip it to something it's not.
No.
Okay?
I established in the fucking text
no,
message. I am fine. That will. I'll just go back up
no,
to the
but you
I'll write my message
established in
out.
the VC. No, it doesn't matter what you say in the text because
Well,
you
that's my
established in
premise.
the VC.
That's my premise. Kratos is
No.
superior to all
Hold
of
on,
JoJo's
hold on,
verse. That's my
hold on,
premise.
hold
Listen,
on.
it doesn't matter.
Okay, well,
Just use Tusk. That's fine. I'm just establishing what my premise was, is that he's superior to all of JoJo's verse.
okay,
That was
but
my premise.
I'm just gonna say no. Okay, it was your premise, but your premise is different because you're
Well,
recording
I
this
never
yourself.
changed
You can
my
wait,
premise.
hold on.
Yeah, we can go back in
Let
the
me talk.
recording and we can establish that I
me
never
talk.
changed my premise, but you can continue on.
No, let me talk, okay? Because in the VC, I said that okay, I'd rather put instead of all of JoJo, I put Tusk Act 4 up against Kratos because he's
Yeah.
the strongest.
Yeah, I said that was fine.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I'm just correcting you.
I never disagreed with that. I'm stating in my premise, I am using
That was your
I'm giving you all
premise.
of JoJo. That's my premise. Even if you
That
just want to,
was
I'm establishing that even if you just want to use Tusk, I'm giving you all of JoJo. That's what I'm saying. That's my premise.
so you want to back up to your old premise and say it's a new premise.
I never
All right,
changed
fine.
my premise.
I don't get the confusion here. I don't get the confusion here. From what I'm hearing is you can use any JoJo character, and as if you're wanting to go with the one you selected, that's fine. But like from what I'm understanding here, he's saying that under his original premise, you can use pretty much anything from JoJo.
Well, original, I
So
never changed my premise.
Oh yeah, sorry. From what I'm hearing, there shouldn't be an issue here. Like just go with what you want to go with.
Yeah, I'm just stating you
Okay.
can use everyone. That's my premise. That's what my premise indicates. You can only use Tusk ACT4 if you want, but I'm stating in the future, if you do want to use someone else, right, you can. That's what I'm saying. And that never changed.
Okay then. All right, so
Yeah.
I'm about to post my scans for why Tusk Act. What was it? Yeah, Tusk Act 4 is what was it? Yeah, fifth dimensional high up in there. I'm not talking about like low 5D. I'm talking about like high.
Fifth dimensional in
So-
what regard, sorry? Are we referring to strictly hacks? What are we talking about?
Yes, we're referring to hacks.
Okay.
And we could also say that his hacks is also his AP, so because it actually
He is the
has
bullet.
to hit you with it.
Yeah.
Huh?
Well, yeah, like Tusk ACT4
Yeah.
is the bullet, yeah.
So you agree that it's gonna be his AP?
Well, yeah, but I don't agree with it being fifth dimensional yet because I haven't seen anything to indicate that.
All
So
right,
I'll wait until you
I'm
press
just making
that.
sure. So now we're gonna say it's AP. All right, we just agreed to that. Okay.
Yeah, that's
now
fine.
good. Now what?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first thing I'm going to clarify first is
Mhm.
dimensionality in JoJo. Okay. So
That's fine.
JoJo, when it comes to their like dimensions, right? They regard it as parallel dimensions or new worlds. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And these is an actual multiverse. Okay.
agree.
There's
Yep.
infinite. There's infinite. So wait, you agree with that notion? I don't have to post anything for it.
Yeah, no,
You
I
agree with
100% agree that it's an infinite multiverse. Yeah, I 100% agree.
Okay. All of them with their space-time continuums. Good.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're on the same page. Now I'm about to post this right here. Sec. Give me a sec real quick. Loading. Look here.
Pardon me. Oh, pardon me. Oh, and just for the recording, you did agree to Cyber as a judge?
Cyber as a judge.
Yeah.
I don't think I. I don't think I agreed to Cyber as a judge. How about this? Wait. So can Cyber?
Oh no, I'm asking.
Wait. I think.
I'm asking. Do you agree?
I think you said the judges didn't matter, but if I were to pick a judge, I'd just say for your how about this, right? For your side, we'll have Cyber, right? And for my side, I'll have Lumos. Okay, I think that's pretty fair.
Was
All right.
Yeah, Lumos was here since the start. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, so they'll both be judges. All right.
And you both agree to not be biased either, Cyber and Lumos. Agreed. Okay, cool. Do you agree, Cyber?
Yeah, I'm not biased for sure.
All right, perfect.
Look, bro, he's tripping me. Yeah. Because there's another Cyber on the server. All right, let's see here. Give me a sec. I'm posting scans.
Could you explain it while you're posting it?
I figured I'll explain it once they're all posted real quick, because it worked better instead of me trying to find more scans while we're arguing at the same time.
No. Just explain the ones that you're sending.
But don't worry. Give me a second. I'm getting ready to explain it. Okay.
I just don't want you to shotgun me.
I'm not gonna shotgun you because I'm explaining why he's 5D. Can I at least get my evidence up before I start explaining? That's
sure,
like me, like
sure, that's fine. I think you could just explain it, but it doesn't matter. That's fine. I can wait.
okay.
Stands are endless with paranormal powers.
Okay. I
Alright,
got two
destroy
more,
matter,
and then you're good.
spread plague, and sometimes dominate time and space and interfere with the rules of the world. What's that first scan from? Is that from JoJoVella?
Yes, it is, and it's from Rocky himself,
Okay.
the author.
And this one's
Now, give me a
JoJoVella
sec.
too?
Yes, they're all JoJoVeller. I'm posting. Give me a sec, because that's where part 7 is. Let me see. There it is.
Alright, that scan's fine.
Okay, this is the scans I have. This is all that I'm gonna have. Okay, so do you agree?
Just one sec, just let me just read through that last description real quick.
Sorry about that. Yeah,
No,
like I lagged out.
It's alright, nothing to worry about.
Okay, so do you agree, right, that in terms of that the dimensions that the JoJoverse lives in, right, they live in time and space. Do you agree?
Sure. They live in a
Okay, so
three-dimensional
you agree
world.
that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. All right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go back to the final scan I posted, right? So it's D4C Love Train, right?
Yeah.
He transcends dimensions, okay? Which means he transcends it's 3 spatial, 1 temporal. He transcends the JoJo multiverse.
He
Okay.
transcends the multiverse. Yeah, that's fine. That's
Yes,
4D.
he transcends the multiverse.
Yep, that's 4D.
No. So that's 4D, okay?
Yep.
But now that you agreed that he transcends dimensions, right?
Sure.
The thing is, Araki himself anticipated that he wanted them, like he already told you in the first scan I posted, it was Standology, how powerful he wanted stands like that to be. And he said that they dominate space and time.
Yep.
Okay, so if they dominate space and time, that implies mastery over the fourth dimension, which makes
No,
them fifth dimension.
I do not agree.
Yes,
Time
it
and
does.
space being 4D. No, we'll debate that right now. Why is time 4D?
Wait, you just agreed earlier. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I
So
said it is a three-dimensional universe. Yeah, I do not count temporal dimensions as spatial dimensions. I never agreed to
no,
that.
but hold on. You agreed to the JoJo multiverse. Okay.
Yeah, that it
In
had
order
infinite
to
universes. Yes.
yeah, in they had infinite space time continuums. That's a
Yes.
multiverse. That
Yeah.
is
Yeah. That's
yes.
infinite
So
3D,
if
bro.
you agree,
Yeah. Infinite
that's
3D.
not infinite 3D.
Yeah, it is.
That's not
Okay.
infinite 3D.
Okay. Listen.
No, it's not.
If we have one three-dimensional universe, and then we have another three-dimensional universe, that's two three-dimensional universes. Let's say we have an infinite amount of three-dimensional universes that would still quantify as being infinite 3D.
That's not it. No way. Because okay, can you
Explain.
see the fucking fourth dimension?
Yeah.
Can you
The
see the
fourth
fourth dimension?
dimension is a dimension that utterly transcends the third dimension. Sees the third dimension as fiction, as a piece of paper, as a painting. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but can you see the fourth dimension right now? Can you see it?
No, it transcends me.
Okay, so if it transcends you, right, and you're claiming that every single infinite universe, right? I'm talking the whole multiverse
Is infinite
is
3D,
just
yes.
simply infinite.
Yep.
It's that okay? It's not infinite 3D.
Well, it is infinite
Because the thing
3D
is with-
by definition. Yes, it is. So you realize that having numerous infinite 3 dimensions, right? If you think, okay, first of all, do you think that the JoJo universe, like a singular universe, is infinite in size?
Is infinite, yeah.
You think the JoJo universe is infinite in size? Why is it infinite in size? I'm not
Why is
referring
it
to the
infinite in-
multiverse. I'm saying the infinite universe. Do you think the universe is infinite?
Yes, it is.
Why?
Why do I think it's infinite?
Yeah, why
Well,
do you think that
basically,
a
there's a-
singular universe is infinite in size?
Because, for example, what was it? Cars from part 2 of JoJo. He was sent flying through space, and he said that he'd be there forever.
Yeah, because he would be drifting
That-
through, and yeah, that he would be drifting through space. Yeah,
So if it's
that doesn't that does not
forever-
indicate
wait,
infinite space.
hold
No,
on, hold
don't
on,
rat.
hold on, let me-
Don't. No,
let me
I'm
know-
not letting you
yes, it
rat,
does.
bro.
I'm
I'm not
not
letting
ratting.
you rat.
I'm not ratting.
You're
I'm
literally ratting, bro.
because guess what?
You're stating that he's going to be
ratting.
drifting through
not
space
ratting.
implies that there's
Okay,
an
so-
infinite amount of space. No, that just means that he
Yes,
was
there
going to
is.
be in
Yes, it-
space
okay,
for an
look,
infinite amount
if
of
you-
time. That's all that means.
No. That's not all it means because if it says forever, there's no limit to it. It's forever.
Yeah, that
That's
means that he's
literally
okay.
infinite.
Okay, listen. If I'm in my house forever and never leave my house, is my house infinite in size?
No, we're talking about space here. You can't
Yeah,
make that
So
comparison.
if you're drifting into space forever, right, that just means that he would be drifting around an area, not that he would be traveling infinite distances.
He would be traveling infinite distances. He was just
No, he
he's not
wouldn't
traveling.
be.
Okay, so you're assuming no, shut up. Because you're assuming that this motherfucker is just going around planets just for fun. No, he's drifting through space.
Yeah, forever.
And he's never gonna reach it. Yeah, he's never forever. So if it's forever,
That does
that
not
makes him
imply infinite space, retard. That just implies he would be in a specific area forever.
Wait, hold on. Now you're gonna name call. Now you're gonna name.
Yeah,
call.
you're being a
Okay,
fucking
wow,
retard,
I
dude.
thought you're being a retard, bro.
You literally think that
What
being
the
stuck
fuck?
in one area for an
guys,
infinite amount
can
of
we
time implies infinite space. That is
Yeah, this is
fucking
getting
retarded.
That is not retarded at all.
All right, you know what? We'll just let the judges. We'll let the judges decide on that point. Whatever. Let's move on. Okay. So that doesn't matter. What next?
What?
What next? I don't care. We'll let the judges decide on which side of that argument is more
because
believable.
we weren't
Whatever.
finished.
Yeah. What's
we
next?
weren't even
What?
finished on that point though.
Yeah. Your
Because
point.
we're still talking about why they're 5D.
Okay.
And you didn't let me explain because you went on a tangent like a child.
I mean, you literally went off on a tangent as well in response. So, but whatever. Doesn't matter. Continue on then.
Okay, so do you agree that the fourth dimension is typically agreed upon to be time, like time
No.
or space time? Okay.
Don't agree.
So why?
Okay,
Why?
so space-time refers to one temporal dimension and 3 spatial dimensions. What defines a dimensional increase refers to an extra spatial dimension, not temporal. Temporal is entirely bound by space, right? Unless you can show me that there's an instance somewhere in reality or fiction that time can exist without space, which isn't the case, because time is a measurement of physical change, right? So by that logic and definition, it would establish that time is contingent upon space and doesn't ever indicate a dimensional increase in size.
Now, the funny thing is, you need to go on the tangent about explaining it because I said or space time. Okay,
Yeah,
so
space time is the idea that they're linked.
So
Yes.
space time. Yeah, so it's the idea that they're linked. Now
Yeah,
back
3
to the
dimensions,
multiverse,
1
right?
temporal dimension. Yes.
If there's infinite, okay, if there's infinite alternate universes, right, with their all different continuities, they all have their own space-time continuums, right? And there's a being that transcends all of that in general.
He would be 4D, yeah.
Wouldn't Okay, so if he'd be 4D, okay, so he transcends dimensions. Give me a second.
So what they mean by dimension in this instance is alternate reality, not mathematical dimension.
No, actually, it doesn't mean. Okay, so can you prove that they mean mathematical dimension in JoJo?
No, I'm saying it isn't a mathematical dimension.
Oh, so you're saying it's not a mathematical dimension?
Yeah, I'm saying that dimension in JoJo refers to alternate timelines. That was blatantly shown with Funny Valentine, where he said traveling through traveling through dimensions would establish that he went to an alternate timeline.
Okay, and wait a minute. So do you agree that they're alternate universes then?
Yeah, dimension refers to alternate universe in this context. Yes, not mathematical dimension like length or width or whatever, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So if he's transcending an infinite amount of alternate 3-dimensional spaced realities, he would be 4D. Or Love Train's barrier would be 4D, meaning that the attack potency of Tusk ACT4, the bullet or whatever, would be 4D. Yeah.
Okay, but the thing is,
yeah,
right?
What's the thing?
So so basically, let me a sec here. Let me a sec. So you agree that they're transcending like all physical space and time, right?
I'm agreeing that they transcend the infinite amount of alternate universes.
Okay, but it's in a physical space and time,
sure.
Isn't it?
Of 3-dimensional space.
Okay,
yeah.
So if you agree about that, that will automatically make that higher 4D.
No, it wouldn't.
And also 5D. Yes,
No,
it would, because that's the definition of a fourth dimension.
Okay, so I'm going to line it out for you.
Also, you still didn't refute my point up earlier about the dominating like time and space, because that's how Araki wanted to be that powerful.
No, I agree.
In that verse, he said power caps. So you agree. So you agree to that. So that would automatically make that 5D.
No, it wouldn't. It would make it 4D.
Yes, it would.
Oh my
no,
fucking God.
No. Because I've already gave context. That
okay, if we're going by this logic, then you're going to have to agree that Kratos is 5D as well. Because I basically gave you the exact same feat as what Funny Valentine and Johnny are implying. So that instant, I'm sure, fine, I'll agree to it. Kratos is also 5D by that logic.
So okay. So now the thing is, I don't even care about Kratos like being 5D, right? But now the thing is, you can't refute that point, so you're trying to make him 5D now.
No, I can refute it, and I did refute it by stating that transcending an infinite amount of 3-dimensional spaces would make you 4D. Do you know? Okay, so I'm going to explain it to you how dimensional tiering works, because you don't seem to understand.
No. You don't even need to explain it because it doesn't matter.
Don't interrupt me. It completely matters because you don't seem to understand how dimensional scaling works.
No, it doesn't completely matter.
Are you going to let me finish, or are you going to continue interrupting? Are you going to continue interrupting, or are you going to let me finish my point?
No,
are you going to continue interrupting, or are you going to let me finish my point? Because I was making a point and then you interrupted. Can you let me finish?
No, let me finish my point real quick.
You weren't making a point because I agreed that it would have been dominating time and space. Then I went on to make my point and then you interrupted me.
No, wait, so you agreed to it. Now he's 5D.
No, I don't agree that it's 5D. I just said that.
Okay, why don't you agree it's 5D real quick?
Okay, because your literal definition of what makes it is illogical, and I already explained the dimensional tiering of how that isn't the case. Transcending an infinite amount of 3-dimensional spaces, like, if we agree that a transcendence refers to being superior to it in every aspect of its facility, then it would make it 4D at bare minimum.
But
so that's where I was going to get into that's where I was going to get into my explanation that you kept on interrupting, right? So will you let me finish my explanation? Okay.
All right, finish real quick.
Yeah, so let's say we have an infinite amount of first dimensional... Okay, so you agree that the first dimension is length, yes?
Sure.
You agree that the second dimension is length times width, a square?
Sure.
Okay, if I have an infinite amount of first dimensional line segments and place them in within a 2-dimensional square, will it ever fill up?
Will it ever fill up the 2-dimensional square?
Yes. Will it ever fill it up?
Probably not.
No, you're
Probably
most
not.
definitely right. It will never fill up because it doesn't have width, right? So if we take an infinite amount of layers of an infinite one-dimensional line segment, it will never fit up, right? So the point of this example is proving that in order for a first-dimensional character to enter a two-dimensional space, right, or universe, they would need to have a beyond infinite amount of infinite transcendences. Yes?
Okay.
Yep, so what we call that is inaccessible. Inaccessible is something that is infinitely greater than infinite, okay? Right? So if
Wait, what? Inaccessible? What are you talking about?
So
What do you mean by that?
So do you know what cardinality is? Do you know what mathematics is?
Wait, so you're trying to apply mathematics? I don't agree with that. You can't do that.
So you don't agree in mathematical dimensions, and you don't agree length is the first dimension, and you don't agree that length and width is the second dimension. That's what you're saying? Because those are mathematical dimensions.
Nope. You said mathematical dimensions?
Those are what mathematical dimensions are, yes. First dimension, second dimension, third dimension. Those are mathematical dimensions.
I just want you to prove mathematically that how you perceive the third dimension and fourth dimension in terms of how they work. Yeah, I know, but
okay,
can
so
you
the
prove
fourth.
that
Okay, so
aspects
obviously
of what you're saying work the same in JoJo.
Yeah,
It's
so
fiction.
Yeah, so unless anything indicates that the fourth dimension in JoJo is different, we assume that it's the same as our universe. Yes? So in the instance of our universe, we have no idea what the fourth spatial dimension would be, right? Computers can't even properly conceive it, right? So let's name it X, okay? X dimension is what equates to a fourth dimensional tesseract, okay? So an infinite amount of three-dimensional cubes would never fill up a fourth dimensional tesseract, right? Because it lacks X dimension. Yes? It's the same instance as the first dimension going into the second dimension. So let's state that Funny Valentine transcends an infinite amount of three-dimensional spaces, which would be three-dimensional cubes. Yes? He would only be fourth dimensional at the bare minimum.
So you said the bare minimum, right? That he only be fourth dimensional.
He would only be fourth dimensional, mind me. I should not have said bare minimum. That's a fourth dimensional feat, at most.
So at most, no, because if he's okay, think about it like this, right? So if you're moving through how can I put it? Let's see here. I'm trying to think. What was I had in my mind? Wait, hold on. While I'm putting that into
No, I'm not letting you jump to another point. You take your time.
I'm not jumping. Wait a minute. I'm not jumping to.
Can I say something?
Yeah, what's up, Cyber?
I would agree that it's not necessarily my place as a judge to put an intercept, but I would think that this comes back to what you two were supposed to have agreed at the beginning, which is what dimensional tiering system are you going with?
We said in between verse battles and character stats.
Okay, so then you should just refer to the both quickly, and I think that would solve this issue really, faster than it's going at least.
I think that verse battles definitions past Universal Plus are a little bit vague, but I can still get it up either way. It doesn't matter. And then I'll get character stats up.
Okay, but the thing is, one thing you have not refuted yet. Well, actually, you agree with it, but the thing is, there's a certain point you disagree with, right? When it says Araki says to himself that stands that there are certain stands that just dominate space and time, right? That have their abilities set for space and time, like people erasing time, right? He was doing all this
I don't
other
agree
stuff.
anyone erases time, but yeah.
Hold on. How? Wait a minute. Okay,
He does not
that's
erase
wrong.
time.
But I'm not gonna get into later.
We'll get into that later. Yeah, we'll get into Diavolo later. Yeah.
Okay, so the thing is, right, when he says dominate space and time, if you're dominating space and time, and we know for a fact, right, that D4C Love Train is literally, he's transcends dimensions, he's above the JoJo multiverse, which is infinite universes, infinite parallel dimensions, right?
Infinite three-dimensional time spaces, yeah.
That's not infinite three-dimensional. That's not infinite three-dimensional. Because if you're saying it's infinite three-dimensional, that would imply two universes when this one's actually infinite, right? So now you're just ratting right now, lowballing.
I'm not fucking ratting. You just don't understand.
Hold on.
Okay, prove to me. No. Prove to me that each alternate universe is a fourth dimensional time space.
Let me talk.
No, because you're ratting now. Prove that the alternate realities within JoJo are fourth dimensional time spaces, or you.
I don't need to prove that they're fourth dimensional.
Then we assume they're three-dimensional time spaces.
No. I'm not saying that they're fourth dimensional. I'm saying that the multiverse in general, if you were to be above it in general, like that would at
You would
least
be
make
4D.
you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, right?
Yeah.
It turns out how much you impact like the dimensions in general, like how much of an impact there is, right? So not only is it's like a mastery of the fourth dimension, right?
No, it
For
isn't.
how high you're 4D. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Now let me talk. Okay. So let's say for example, right, that if it's a good example of something that's like low 4D, right? So something like erasing time, right?
That would
That's
not be
like something
4D.
that's considered. Yes, it would
No, it
because you're
wouldn't be. I
erasing an
disagree.
aspect of space and time.
Yeah,
Well,
that would be
okay.
3D. Yeah, it'd be 3D. I don't
That
agree
would
that they
not
erase
be
time
3D.
either.
No, that would not be 3D. You're right, Har. Okay,
How
that'd
am I
not be
writing?
3D.
No, no, no,
Wait.
no, 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 no. You're calling me a rat now? How am I writing?
Yes. Okay, so basically, you're saying that a character, right, that that's stated multiple times in the series, and it's shown, and it's said by the stand stats, it's said by the author himself that he's erasing time, and then the author even blatantly says himself that he made it that powerful because there's certain stands that dominate space and time. So he's literally erasing time in the space for like I think it was 12 seconds. He's actually doing
It's
that.
10 seconds.
What?
It doesn't
Okay, I
matter
don't
how
care.
much
But
time he
anyway,
erases, it doesn't matter.
yes, it does matter because it proves that his ability is fourth dimensional.
No, it doesn't. So when we actually
Yes,
refer
it
to the
does.
feats and how it works, it's indicated that Diavolo does not erase time and that he skips time.
No, he erases time.
Okay, show the time being erased right now. Prove it to me.
Okay.
Because we actually have Giorno and we have numerous other beings within it, such as Polnareff stating that he skips time. That's why blood drops actually continue to drop onto his pants, right? It's blatantly time skip.
That's
Okay,
okay.
blood drops would have been erased. Show me the blood drops being erased.
What? No, he's erasing time in space.
He
Okay?
obviously
And then the
isn't
blood
if the
drop.
space in between remains there.
No, the thing is, that's just how his general ability works.
No, it
Okay,
isn't.
so when
Saying
you're
that's
saying
just
that
how
about
it
the
works
blood
is
drop,
not an argument. Show me him erasing time right now.
okay, I'll show you right now.
Show me, bro. I'll wait.
Thank you.
I'll also get up the blood drop situation as well. I have all of the I've touched on this debate so much, dude, that I have all of these just saved in a folder. Give me a sec.
Hurry up, Kratos! I gotta mow.
Bro, I'm already dominating. Just wait a little bit more. What was it? It was
I don't know, bro. It sounds like you're getting slapped.
yeah, okay, bro.
It's like a Mark versus Omni-Man situation. No. He's in this and you're Mark. I don't know what to tell you.
Damn, you got me, bro. Yeah, his name was Diavolo. Alright, I got it.
All right, I'm gonna show you. So every time, right? Literally, oh man, I don't think you even know what you're talking about.
I don't think you know what you're talking about, but we'll let the judges decide on that.
Ooh, ballsy.
So you provided me a
ballsy.
statement that he erased time, or let me watch this video clip real quick. Okay, he's literally still seeing the actions continue. Yeah. This is Epitaph. Yeah. This is Epitaph. Yeah.
That's not Epitaph.
Yeah, that's
That
he's
is
seeing
not
the
Epitaph.
future. What are you talking about?
That's not. No. Okay, that's the point. Okay, he's erasing. Okay, if he's erasing space and time, he's operating outside of it. Okay, he sees the actions that are going to like happen. Right?
Yeah, so it's not being
using
erased.
Epitaph.
Yeah.
It's just that it is being erased.
It is. I literally just posted evidence that blood drops continued to fall onto his pants in between the time that skipped over, implying that no erasure is actually occurring. I'm waiting for you to debunk that, by the way.
The eraser is actually occurring. The thing is with the blood droplets, that literally doesn't matter.
That literally does matter because blood drops continue to fall onto his pants in between the time frame that he is quote unquote erasing.
Yes, because he erased time.
Giorno also literally states time just skipped, right?
Okay, yeah, but that's their that when it comes to time skipping, right? That is their point of view. That time is just skipped. But when Diablo does it, he's actually erasing the time. That's like his point. Diablo's point of view. He's erasing the whole thing, and you see it for yourself.
We literally okay.
But
you're literally not providing a retort to my
view.
point, so I'll re-explain it for you. Okay, so let's say the time. Let's say I can't remember exactly how much time he quote unquote erases, right? But let's just say it's 12 seconds, right? What you originally said. right? Let's state that at point 1, right, Giorno puts his foot down, right?
Okay.
And then at point 12, he is on the other side of the corridor where he would have been walking toward, okay? What Diavolo does is he uses his ability at 2, right? And then jumps all the way to 11, right? He takes that whole situation, right? And drags it, okay? To where Giorno would go from putting his foot down to reaching the end of the corridor in what would appear to be a second, okay? That means
Doesn't do that.
that means all of the actions that occur in between, right, the other 9 seconds still occur, just not from their perspective. It only occurs from Diavolo's perspective. If time were to be erased, right, Giorno would not be at the end of the corridor, and the blood drops would not have continued to fall in between the interval.
Okay, now the thing, I'm going to go into more detail because you're not providing the full context of that ability. Because when he erases time, well, hold on. He explains himself that everyone, like, the thing is, right, when it comes to people, okay, when he erases time, those people are going to follow whatever the fuck they're going to do for 10 seconds, okay? And when you're saying about the blood droplets, now hold on a minute.
You just
because that's his
agreed.
ability.
Continue on, yeah, continue on. Because you're agreeing right now, yeah, continue on.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, go on.
So,
go on.
okay, listen, shut the fuck up real quick.
No, go on.
Anyway,
go on.
Anyways, so basically, right, how people are moving, those blood droplets are coming from those people, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's not erasing time, because
Define
he
erase
blatantly
for
is.
me real quick. Can you define
author-
erase, please?
I'm not gonna. Man, shut the fuck up. I'm not gonna define something simple as that. Bro, stop
Define
being a
it.
dumbass. Like,
Don't call me a dumbass, don't be a
erasing
retard,
something.
define it. Erase, define it.
No.
If
Okay,
you don't
you define
define it,
erase.
I'm going to define it for you.
Okay, deleting something.
Define these nuts, Kratos.
Shut the fuck up, Nate. Define erase.
Like, this is
Alright.
something like erase.
Yeah,
Something
erase.
that's just deleted. Something that's gone.
Something that
Okay,
no longer
something-
exists.
Yes.
Okay.
Erase.
So, okay, now we've
Okay.
established that you define erase as something that's being deleted and no longer exists. Okay, continue on with your point.
Okay. Now, all right. So this is by the author himself. He really made, what was it? It was 2 statements. Even a statement about how these stands, right, how they're supposed to be powerful to dominate space and time. Okay, and that would be 4D.
Yeah.
All right. So you agree with that, right? Now
I originally
gonna show
agreed
you-
that the dominating thing would be 4D. Yeah, same as the transcending the alternate realities will also be 4D. Sure.
So you said transcend the alternate reality. Give me a sec here.
Yeah, the alternate dimensions, because we both agreed that means alternate timelines. So is transcending an infinite amount of 3-dimensional spaces? Yeah.
But you realize those infinite 3-dimensional spaces have so. Okay, I'm gonna put this. In order to mess with space-time, right? If you were to just delete timelines, right, that would show, that's a 4D ability for just deleting timelines. Don't you agree?
No.
How?
Because you were deleting the 3-dimensional space, right? And you're deleting the temporal dimension. That's all you're doing.
Okay, so if you're deleting the temporal dimension, that is still 4D.
No, it wouldn't
because
be.
that
We
temporal
literally
dimension,
established
yes,
earlier that
hold on,
temporal dimension does not equate to
Katie?
spatial dimension. We literally no. We
What?
literally agreed earlier that temporal dimension doesn't indicate a dimensional increase. We agreed to that earlier.
Wait, did we agree? I'm not sure.
I
Give me a
have it
sec, I might have
recorded.
seen the
We
feed.
can go to it after, but we definitely agreed.
But okay, what I'm saying here is that. So I'm trying to put this together and put up.
Yeah, I can understand how it would sound so fucking retarded that you can't even formalize it right, but can continue on, try.
So now you're okay. So now you're hurling insults. See, like the thing
You were
is, you're
literally hurling
contradicting yourself.
insults at me earlier because I asked you to define erase. Don't fucking play the moral high ground,
Yeah, because
retard.
that shit's
Continue on.
stupid. Yeah, okay, no, because that shit's actually stupid.
Because I
okay?
pinned you.
Like,
No, I pinned you because you stayed. We both
No, but you
agreed.
didn't.
Let me finish. We both agreed that erase was deleting and getting rid of any, like, whatever it is, and making sure that it ceases to exist. If you agree that the actions are ceasing to exist, they would not have occurred, right? That's what I pinned you on, right? That's the point that I'm
Okay, no, you
currently
can't
winning.
pin me. No,
I
you
literally
can't.
just pinned
can't
you,
pin me on
motherfucker.
that.
So listen,
You didn't pin
right?
me.
I
No,
pinned
you
you,
didn't
bitch.
pin me.
I
You
pinned
listen.
you, bro.
No,
I pinned you,
because
yeah.
I explained it. No, you didn't pin me because I explained that. That's part. Like the thing is that in this ability, right? Like when it comes to what was it? Them like still existing, right, and still doing the thing. That's a part of his ability. What he's erasing it around them. He's not like okay, like he's just erasing it just around.
But you agreed that the action still occurred, though.
Yeah, but it like when he erases time, it's still removing.
So they're
other
both
other
occurring
people's
and ceasing to
wait, hold
exist
on.
at the same time? Is that what you're saying?
No, because it's removing people's perception of it. Okay.
Yeah, meaning that the
That's what
action
it's
still
doing.
occurs outside of their perception and perspective, right? That's what he does. He's not actually
Yeah, but
literally
he's
erasing
erasing
it. He's taking
Yes,
that
he
time
is.
frame into his dimension or whatever it is that he perceives with King
Can you
Crimson.
prove to me
right?
that it's a dimension?
Whatever you want to call
Prove
it,
it to me
doesn't
that's
matter.
a dimension.
You know that area that he goes
No,
into
it does
when
matter.
he
Whoa,
uses.
whoa. Answer the question. It does matter
Well, you
because
didn't
can't
ask
even
me a
answer
question.
that.
You asked me to
Prove
prove
it.
something.
Prove it to
So yeah, I'm
Yes, I
proving it
did.
right now.
Prove it.
Okay,
No,
so
prove
do you know the area that he goes into, right, when he uses King Crimson?
What area is that?
You know, the area with all the stars in the background and shit. Where he,
That's
like,
in the
sees from an
anime. That's
outside
not.
perspective.
That's in the anime.
You
That's not
literally
canon.
posted an anime scan, dude. Are we not using anime
Yeah,
and
but
manga?
hold on.
Wait a minute,
Because
so
the
you're
reason why I
nitpicking what
posted
you
that,
can use from the anime and what you can't?
no,
You literally
okay, can you
posted
shut the
this.
fuck up real quick?
Dude,
The
you're
reason
fucking
why
writing.
I
You literally
posted
posted
it. No,
this.
shut up. No. Let me explain why. Because guess what? The reason why I posted that was to give a visual representation. Now, I'm saying the manga is actually canon to what happened. Now, we already know we're not going to be fucking retarded to assume
Well, the
that
whole
everything that goes on
background in
in
the
anime.
manga turns
Well,
black
hold on,
anyway.
hold on.
No,
Okay,
just
so
to, like,
wait,
speed
if
it up, the
turns black,
background turns
if it
black
turns
anyway,
black,
so.
if it turns black, right?
Yeah.
There's no stars. There's nothing there.
Okay, if you want to
Okay,
fucking
so
get me
that's what
on
happened
one
in the
point
end.
that stars were there, I really don't give a fuck. The point is that he's viewing it from an outside perspective, right? That's what he's doing, and he's then taking the time from that area into his, whatever you want to call it, dimension, reality, perspective. I don't give a fuck what label you want to use, right?
Okay,
The point
who
is that
said
the
it was a
events still
dimension?
occur.
Who said it was a dimension? Who said it was a
I was
dimension?
literally just
You
giving a
did.
word that could possibly be perceived as what it was,
No.
right? It doesn't matter if
No,
it's a
you
dimension or
can't.
not. If you
No,
want to, bro, if you want to
you
argue
can't assume.
semantics, if you want to argue semantics, we can.
Not
I don't
arguing
care.
semantics.
Listen, I don't care if it's not a dimension, okay? Whatever it is, it's his perspective, right? Whatever the fuck you want to call it. You can call it tits for all you want.
Okay,
I
you
don't
know,
care.
no, you're wrong. Okay, listen, okay, it's not just his perspective, right? But the thing he's operating in is, guess what? He always says it, erase time. The author himself said,
So you
the
say
author
erase
himself said
time,
that.
yet he still sees the events occur within
You
quote
understand my
unquote
point?
erase time. I
Yes,
literally
because that's his
reposted it.
ability.
Yeah,
That's his
so it's not
ability.
erasing time, you
So that's
fucking retard. The events still occur.
He is in it. That is a okay. Shut up. Because listen, all right. He's erasing.
Okay, listen, we're not
the
getting
thing is,
anywhere. I'll leave it
yeah.
up to the judges to judge this. I don't care.
No.
My point
Let
is
me
that
finish.
my point is that he is clearly not erasing time since events still occur to unfold within the area wherever he's taking this time, right? If time were to be erased as defined by both of us and agreed, completely ceasing to exist, the events would not be occurring or existing at all, right? And he would not be seeing anything play out, okay? That's my point. You can say your retort. We'll let the judges decide after.
All right. So basically, my point is that the author himself, right, in the whole series. So we got JoJo Part 5, right? Everyone says that he erases time. The Stan Sat says he erases time. Like Diallo himself says he erases time. It's shown that he does that too, okay? And how his ability works is that he lets actions play out. The thing is, the world breaks around him, and there's literally nothing around him except people just moving into their predestined paths, okay? And Diallo was the only one able to move in his erased time, right? And like Araki himself has said, yes, he erases time twice in guidebooks, all right, in the official canon. And then Araki meant for his ability to be that powerful and actually have those certain capabilities of the fourth dimension because Araki in the Stanology guidebook said that literally stands like King Crimson dominate space and time, okay?
That's your point?
Yes.
Okay.
That's all it is.
That's fine. All right, what's your next point that you want to go over?
What?
What's the next point you want to go over?
Well, actually, we gotta let the judges to decide on who won this.
Oh,
point,
I was stating after the debate, right? I don't like them interfering and giving their judgments now when the entire debate isn't done. We can do that if you want, but I'm also meant after the debate they could decide who won that point.
Okay, so I think what was it? One thing we didn't finish was the Tusk ACT4 because you agreed that what was it? So you put what was it? I think it was who did you put at 5D? No wait, you let me put like Love Train at 5D and then you put Kratos at 5D and saying that doesn't matter. Okay, right?
I didn't agree to that. I was saying it as an example.
Well,
If I were to allow you to have this, then by your own logic, Kratos would also be 5D. I wasn't agreeing to it. I was just stating if I were to give you that, then he would be as well.
okay.
By your logic.
All right.
But
So
I don't agree.
okay,
to
fine.
That.
So wait. All right. Okay, whatever. So you agree that Kratos is 5D along with Love Train, right?
I literally just established to you that I didn't give you that point. Why are you writing, bro?
Okay. I'm okay. I'm not writing. Can you like stop with that stupid shit? Because
you literally
I'm just
did that
going
exact
off of
same
what you
stuff
said.
for me.
I'm going off of what you
Bro,
said, right? So
I
now,
just
like,
reiterated
you're
what I
making
said.
the assumption.
I literally just
yeah,
said.
you just reiterated.
I literally,
okay? So
I
now,
literally said what I said earlier was that if I were to give you that point, Kratos would also be 5D by your logic. But I'm not giving you that point because I don't
So you
agree
don't want
to
to
it.
give it.
So neither Goku, or not Goku, mind me, neither Kratos nor Johnny or Tusk Act 4 would be 5D. That was the point I was making.
So neither of them are 5D. Okay. So all right, now you want to go with that one. All right, fine. Okay. So you agree. Wait, how do you wait? Wait a sec, right? I'm gonna go back up because we did trail off a bit.
Yeah.
The world tree. Okay. Wait a minute. I just realized something. Wait a minute. So if wait.
Oh,
That's
I
what you
just
got for
realized I
40
didn't
quid.
post the statement of the tree branch transcending and reaching out to infinity.
Yes, you
Mind me.
did. Wait, reaching out to infinity? Well, actually, I'm gonna throw your logic right back at you, actually,
Yeah, what is
because
it?
with that just shows it be infinite 3D through your logic.
No, so he transcends an infinite amount of three-dimensional spaces within the tree. It literally says
Yeah,
transcendence.
so that'd be infinite 3D. That'd be infinite 3D through your logic.
No, it literally says every strand of the tree transcending time, transcending space. And then there's an infinite amount of cell strands, which would make it infinite 4D. Because we agree that transcending time and space is 4D.
Okay, wait. So if you wait a minute, actually, you don't. Actually, you kind of didn't agree with that. Actually,
No, I agreed that transcending an infinite amount of three-dimensional spaces was 4D. That's what the whole alternate dimension thing we covered
okay.
was for.
So, all right. So if you agree with that point, right, that if they transcend like those
infinite amount of
know,
three-dimensional time spaces, yes, they would be 4D.
Okay.
I literally agreed to that. Cyber, Lumos,
Okay,
can you guys
good
attest
job.
to that?
Now, I'm not saying you didn't agree to no, let me finish, okay? So now that you agreed to that, right, I'm still gonna head right back to the scan of where literally so that tree is essentially kind of like what was it? Funny Valentine, right? And his love train.
It's
In
exactly
a
like
sense,
that
right?
feat, actually. Yeah.
Okay, so if it's exactly like that, that's good. That is good. That's great, okay?
Yeah.
But the thing is that Johnny's Tusk 4 has the power to transcend that infinity.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
He breaches the dimensional barrier, which transcends those dimensions. He doesn't his bullet doesn't transcend the transcendence.
Yes, it does.
Do
How
you
would he
agree
beat
that the barrier
transcendence?
is made up of an infinite amount of three-dimensional spaces?
Infinite amount of three-dimensional spaces?
Yeah,
With our
Funny
own, like,
Valentine's
timeline?
quote was that his barrier was made up of all the alternate realities, right?
Yeah, but that's like limitless alternate realities. It's limitless.
That's an infinite, yeah,
So,
limitless is infinite, whatever. The barrier is made up of an infinite amount of three-dimensional spaces, right? So Johnny, right, breaking through that would be a fourth-dimensional feat.
Yeah, wait, no, hold on a minute.
He transcends
Wait a
the
minute, actually.
three-dimensional spaces. That's what we agreed to.
So wait, okay, give me a sec here. Give me a sec. But the thing is,
Yeah, he's
Okay,
breaking
so
through the
transcend.
thing that he's breaking through a culmination of all the alternate dimensions, right? So he would also transcend that if you would agree to that, making his attack 4D as well.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
wait a minute. Well, the thing is, right, when it comes to that, in terms of like 4D, it still dominates time and space. That's the thing.
Time and
So
space
if
is what
you
we
were to,
defined as
yeah, so he
three-dimensional.
dominates.
Yeah.
No,
Okay,
no,
so
no. But the thing
I'll
is,
touch on this
dominates.
now because you're seeming to not understand. Okay, dominating time
Well,
and
wait, you
space.
didn't
Listen,
let me finish.
Let me finish. Dominating time and space is a three-dimensional feat, right? Transcending time and space is a fourth-dimensional feat, right? You would have to
I
prove
disagree
that
with that.
dominating would refer to a transcendence, right? Which you can't do, right? Because then you would have to argue that dominating means that you're superior in every aspect of facility to that thing, which isn't the case. Dominating just means
Yes. Okay.
that. Okay, so do we need to define dominate?
Now you're playing semantics right now, because dominating and transcending are basically the same thing.
No, they are not.
You're playing semantics.
No, they are not.
Yes, they are.
No,
If
they are
I'm
not.
dominating
Dominating
something,
refers to
that
having
means
power or
I'm
influence
above
over
you.
one thing, not utter transcendence. Transcendence and dominate are not synonyms either. No, I disagree to that. Dominate can
So you
also reference
disagree.
control as well. Yeah, dominate does not refer to transcendence. I'm not going to let you fucking rat that. No.
I'm not writing, dude. Okay,
You just
so
tried
if
to state that
I
dominate meant
dominate,
transcendence. You just tried to state they were the same thing.
wait, dominating transcendence? Well, we like
They are not the same
hang on.
thing. I could dominate you right now and punch you in the. I'm not saying I would, but I could just say I could punch you in the face, and that would be an example of me dominating you. That doesn't mean I transcend you. You would have
But
to.
doesn't mean mastery. Doesn't it mean mastery? That's all I'm
Mastering
asking.
doesn't mean transcendence either.
Yes. Wait. Okay. But the thing is, I'm trying to get him higher on the scale, so that would make
Yeah,
him
and none
like
of those two
high
things would indicate
for
that.
the. Wait. What do you mean?
All that you're indicating with the domination, right, and the mastery means that they would have mastery over the third dimension, which means they would be a higher end of three-dimensional. The only fourth-dimensional feat you have is the transcendent statement.
Wait, what?
The only fourth-dimensional thing you have is the transcendent statement.
The transcendence? That's not the fourth dimension. Wait, that's not the only
So you
fourth
don't
dimensional
even agree
statement I
that's the
have.
fourth. So you do agree that the transcendent statement is 4D? Do you agree to that?
The transcendence statement. I agree that both dominating and the fourth dimensional statement is 4D.
I disagree. I don't think that domination refers to utter transcendence, and I don't think mastery refers to ultimate transcendence either. I disagree.
Okay, think about this like this, right? If there's there's multiple space times, right? And give me a sec. I'm gonna put this up real quick. Give me a sec.
Yeah, dominating an infinite amount of space times would indicate that you are higher end of three-dimensional. Yeah.
So that you're higher three-dimensional, right?
Yeah. Dominating or mastering three dimensions would indicate that you're high-end three-dimensional at the bare minimum, or at
That
most.
doesn't make any sense.
It literally does make sense. I literally just established that dominating something does not mean that you transcend it, and having a mastery over something could literally mean anything under the context, right?
No.
There's also the infinite statement.
Give me a sec.
The author also agrees to it later as well.
He later agrees to what?
That a branch does stretch out to infinity.
Wait, what? Wait, oh, you mean for like
Oh, I'm talking about Kratos' stuff, yeah. In reference to your thing, my argument is that the only fourth dimensional thing you have is the transcendent statement. Everything else would be 3D in relation to mastery and domination.
Wait, nah. Give me a sec.
Okay, if you really disagree with it, and we're going to go down another rabbit hole, we can leave it up to the judges again.
Give me a sec here. I'm trying to pull this up.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm reading the thing right now, right?
What are you reading, sorry?
I'm reading Universal Plus in the Versus Wiki, so I'm gonna read it along with you, okay? So
you said verse battle,
okay,
sorry
yes,
to interrupt you.
Versus battle is something we agreed upon, right? Now,
And character
I'm gonna
stats.
read it for you.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna read it for you now. Okay, characters who are capable of significantly affecting, creating, / destroying an area of space that's quantifiably larger than the infinite three-dimensional space. Common fictional like spaces representing such sizes or space-time continuums, right? But it says of a universal scale. Okay.
Wait, so you're reading high universal level?
Yeah, it's infinite 3D.
Yeah, universal is a three-dimensional space. High universal is an infinite universe, destroying an infinite three-dimensional universe. Yeah.
Okay,
Again,
so you
as a judge, I'm not supposed to put in it. I do have to warn, though, if you're using the VSB standard, it is changing in a few days. So I just wanted to warn you guys on that.
oh okay.
Beyond that, that's all I'm going to say.
Oh, okay, thanks. All right, anyways, right. So it says space-time continues on a universal scale. Now we know. So I'm going off of what you are going off of, right? So if it's on a universal scale, and we know
My
that
definition doesn't
literally
come from there. What I was defining didn't come from verse battles. What I was
Okay,
defining
where'd
came
it
from
come from?
character stats.
Character stats, where? Wait, you mean you're talking about like JoJo or something?
No, so the way that I tier things, right, and where I get my definitions from comes from character stats.
Like, wait, wait a
So
minute.
this,
So
I'll post it in debate scans. This right here. Oh no, sorry, I posted it in the wrong thing. I accidentally posted it in scaling system. In debate scans, this is where I get my definitions for universal, universal plus, multiversal, blah blah blah.
wait, what the? Let me look at this shit.
That's what we agreed to at the beginning: character stats and verse battles.
Wait.
Well, you've already agreed to it. What are you talking about?
Hold on. All right, damn. Wait. You just wait. Is this the tiering system? Wait, this is just the. Okay, what?
What?
Dude, you're just going off the lore of God of War and just posted the tiering system like you're some smart dude. What? It's the same thing we're doing. This isn't different.
Character
doing?
stats define
It's
the
just-
tiers differently. What the fuck are
Yeah,
you
because
talking
that's how we
about?
fuck. That's no, shut the fuck up. Because that's how we fucking scale characters. That doesn't mean anything. That's stupid. We're using the same things. Stop trying to be smart. Now,
What the fuck
here,
are
I'm
you
gonna
talking
post this in
about?
debate. No, shut the fuck up real quick.
No.
Okay.
What
No,
are
let
you?
me finish.
What the fuck are you talking about?
No,
Yeah,
no,
that's
no.
verse battles tiering system.
No, because you're saying that. Yeah, okay, but you're saying that like with the lore and stuff like that, it's supposed to be like different. Oh, you saw scale things, right? You sent me something, right? You sent me God of War pictures, which obviously
No,
that's
I
how you're
didn't.
gonna
I sent
scale
you the fucking
verse.
tier list of character stats.
Yeah, but that's the thing we're using right now. We've been using that.
We've been using verse
been using that.
battles.
Hold up.
What?
I think there's a miscommunication on what tiering system we were using, and I don't think we understood that.
I definitely don't understand, man.
Well,
I
no.
don't understand
I'm
that.
not saying that. I'm not saying you don't specifically. I'm saying that I'm not sure that he was aware we were using that tiering system, because it doesn't seem that he's aware that that was a tiering system. Is all I'm saying.
So I thought he did know, because at the beginning of the debate I said, do you agree to character stats tiering system and verse battles, right? And he said yes. I thought he knew what I was talking about.
So when I agreed to that, when he said character stats, I thought he meant just in the verse, like scaling Kratos or something. But
No.
versus bout, because I never heard
Like,
of character stats.
I meant literally character stats and profiles wiki. It's another site like verse battles, which defines things mostly the same, but gives a more logical consensus, because verse battles has weird definitions for higher tiers.
Wait, so how? Okay, so we agreed to different definitions of it. So how are we gonna argue which one's better
We
than
can
the
argue
other?
which one's more logical, I guess. Or we can just leave
One's
it to the
more
judges
logical.
to say which one's more logical. It's up to you.
So your definition of high universal is characters who have an infinite degree of three-dimensional power. We consider most small-scale time-space abilities as hacks. That's way as hack. Microcosmic.
That's
Is
just
it
their
high universal?
definition for like the different multiversal tiers. That's just the tier name.
Okay. So, all right. Okay. Give me a sec here. This is what the.
Yeah.
Give me
So
a sec here.
they have universal characters who can destroy all of the physical matter within an observable universe at full power. High universal characters who have an infinite degree of three-dimensional power. Take note that we consider most scale time-space abilities as hacks, not as AP. Universal plus. This is for characters who can destroy and or create the entire fourth dimensional space-time of one universe, not just the physical matter within one. Multiversal, low multiversal. Characters who can destroy and or create up to 1,000 universal space-time continuums that are fourth dimensional. Then you go on to Multiversal Plus. Characters who can destroy and or create an infinite amount of 4-dimensional space-time continuums. High Multiversal Plus,
Hold on.
5th dimensional, and blah 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 continues on.
Hold on a minute. Okay, so now that I know kind of what you're talking about now,
Okay.
because we've been debating on this, because I don't know what information you gave it from, but now I can finally actually sit down and actually reasonably debate you on this now. So with the Universal Plus, right, the versus battle I look at, right, I'm just going to skip to this part right here. It says common fictional examples of spaces representing such sizes are space-time continuums of a universal scale, right? If that's a universal scale, and we know that there's an infinite number of universes or dimensions in JoJo that Tusk ACT4 pierces through, right? Along with the statement of transcending dimensions and also dominating space and time, right? That would apply at least high multiversal, which is
No,
high 4D,
that would still
or
be a
5
Universal
DK build.
Plus feat by verse battle standards.
Let me finish. No, it wouldn't. No, it
I don't
wouldn't.
agree with
just
your
explained it. Now let me
misdefinitions.
finish. That's not misdefinitions.
Yeah,
okay?
so
I'm
like
legit.
you're
reading
misdefining things, but I'll talk about it after you continue your point.
No, I'm legit defining these like stuff right now. Okay, so
You don't understand it then.
let's see.
I'll explain it after.
Okay, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, you don't
continue on.
understand it.
That's
Okay,
fine.
crap.
I'll talk about
Anyway,
it after.
so okay, dude, shut the fuck up. Talk about it in your fucking thinking zone. I don't give a shit. All right, no, let me talk with you real quick. Okay, so you're a fucking retard.
Continue on, retard.
Like I'm gonna. Okay, if you like say another thing, I'm just gonna mute you because you're being a dumbass.
So now
and
you're
I'll
going to
speak and
abuse
then I'll
powers.
mute you.
Okay, cool.
No, because you're being a fucking dumbass. I'm not gonna kick you. I'm just gonna mute you, talk, and then unmute you.
Yeah,
All right.
that's
Anyways,
abusing power.
now
Continue.
Universal Plus, right, is from your definition of it, right? This is your characters versus, right? I don't know who made
Stats.
this.
Yep.
Yeah, it's your character stats, right? So it says this is for characters who can destroy or create entire 4-dimensional space-time of one universe. Okay?
Yep.
So if it's okay. I'm trying to wrap my head around this.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is, right, with space-time, it considers space-time 4th dimensional.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Character
it says
stats
4-dimensional
does not consider it to
space-time
be
of one.
Okay, so
yes,
listen,
it does. I just read it.
Listen. Okay, because again, you're not understanding. Okay, there's
No, I don't need
three-dimensional
you to-
space-time. There's 4th-dimensional space-time. There's 5th-dimensional space-time. Ad nauseum, all the way down an infinite amount of dimensions. Okay, what it means is that the space that it would be indicating would be a higher dimensional input, meaning that. Remember what we said earlier? Dimension X would be added to space-time. It's not stating that space-time in general is 4th dimensional. Because if you go back up to universal level, it says characters who can destroy all the physical matter within an observable universe at full power, and then an infinite degree of 3-dimensional power. And then it goes, we don't consider time-space abilities, we consider them as hacks, not as AP. There are different levels of space-time, right? Which is what we talked about with the
if they
infinity
consider
thing
that's
earlier.
wrong immediately.
No, it's not.
Thing is,
I
your
literally,
thing is not really
it
that
literally
good.
isn't
Hold
because
on,
I literally.
You're saying that it's hack. You're saying attacks not AP based. That's the problem here. There's certain attacks that can be AP based when it comes to space and time, but it's saying that everything when it comes to that level is just hack, which is just wrong, right? If someone punches you in the face, right, and they destroy multiple, infinite, right? Space-time continuums by that,
would
right?
be
You
an
could
attack
fucking
potency.
obliterate. That's not hacks.
That's attack
AP
potency.
based.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I never disagreed to that.
now,
Yeah.
What? Oh my god.
What the fuck are you
I got-
talking about, man?
You don't know what you're talking about, honestly.
You literally don't. You literally fucking rambling like a madman now. Like seriously, you're disagreeing with things that I haven't even disagreed with.
Let's just go to final statements. This is going nowhere.
Yeah.
I have
it's
to
going
deafen
nowhere.
for like 2 minutes. I apologize. I'll be back.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so you any closing statements, right?
I haven't even said anything about Kratos, bro.
Well, the thing is, right, we haven't decided who.
Yeah,
But-
we can't really. We can close now. Whatever, that's fine. But
Yeah. I guess.
I guess can we just wait till Cyber comes back so that he can hear it?
Yeah. I don't want
Okay.
to judge to miss out on that by any means. You guys can talk about whatever in the meantime for sure. It's just like I feel like even if we do go into Kratos, we're gonna do the same thing we just did about like 6 more times because we keep dancing around the concept of like a 3D space time and 4D in nature. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're not allowed to provide any additional arguments in our closing statements, right, Limnos? We're just like concluding what we had just debated.
Okay, I'm back.
If you want to, okay, never mind. No, that's never mind. He's back. I don't know. It's up to you guys. I just from what we were just discussing didn't feel like it was getting anywhere, no matter how many times we were talking about it. Which is why I
Okay.
definitely want us to move on.
Okay, so are we making a concluding statement then, or are we just moving on to a different point?
That's up to you guys.
Oh, I just don't know because you
I
said you
mean-
didn't want to do it because it would just be 6 times repeated over again, right, with Kratos?
I mean, I think that's where it's going to go 100%. But if you think otherwise and you think you can prove it, I mean, more power to you. But
I
if it
feel
just
like
comes
the
back to
judges
that-
could be more sensible, bro. Like, I think that the judges could potentially interpret this differently than what I would interpret it or what Jobber would interpret it. I can just briefly gloss over everything for Kratos in my concluding statement, and he can do the same for whatever arguments he has left, I guess.
Is that fair to everyone? I don't want anyone to feel like we're being unfair.
Yeah. Is that cool with you, Jobber?
I would actually super appreciate that because I have to go in like 5 minutes,
Yeah,
maybe
okay.
10 at most.
Alright. I'll briefly gloss over everything. Do you want to go first, Jobber, or would you like me to?
No, you go first.
I also want to
just
establish
quick.
as well as that I didn't mean calling you. I didn't actually mean that you were retarded throughout the entire time. I just get heated. All right, I didn't mean those to be genuine attacks toward you. Okay, I like your YouTube content. It's just I just got heated. All right. So
Okay.
all right. In my concluding statement, I'll briefly gloss over everything for Kratos. And my reasoning as to why what we've established. So, based off of my understanding and how we tiered things and how I displayed what I consider to be logical, we both agreed that erasure would be an indication of everything ceasing to exist. I don't believe that author statements in this instance can be applied, or statements can be applied if the feat itself is contradicting what's actually shown. If what's shown is that he's skipping time and then there's statements that he erases time, what it would mean is that erasing time in this situation and the context behind it would mean that he's skipping over it, right? Or he's skipping over the possibility of what would happen, despite it still continuing to exist, such as the blood drops, such as Bucciarati in the video right here that we established, he still actually views it. Even in the manga, it's still showing that he views the instance to occur, so nothing's actually being literally erased, right? Next, what he displayed to my idea was only 4th dimensional because we didn't agree, but I established that dominate doesn't refer to an utter transcendence, neither would mastery, and the only 4th dimensional feat he would have would be transcending the infinite amount of alternate timelines, which are referred to as dimensions. In this debate, dimension in JoJo sense is not referring to mathematical dimension or dimensional increase in spatial dimension. Now that we've established his characters are only 4D at the bare minimum, I can go on to state that Kratos is infinite 4D, so he would be infinitely more powerful and more durable than anything that would be taking place in JoJo, because he actually tanks hits of characters who are infinite 4-dimensional in power, right? He has resisted hacks because what the infinite rotation is, from my perspective, is causality hacks, right? And causality
Well,
hacks...
hold on a minute. Whoa, you didn't. No, that's a new point. You can't say that.
We
You
just
never said that in
established that
debate.
we would be... We
Well,
literally
he's-
just
No, no,
agreed
no,
that we
you
would
never
be
said
adding...
that.
Yeah, he said that he would get some extra things because we never really got around to that, to be fair. So let him finish his closing.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
That's fine. So, yep. Fuck. What was I saying again? Sorry. Oh yeah. Causality hacks refers to the ability to manipulate situations or probability, right? Or things as an actual definition. I'll get it. Hacks. I'll go by Worst Battles wiki definition for causality. To just give a brief summary of what it is, because I believe that Kratos can resist it. So Kratos has this thing called acausality, and acausality is the ability to act unrestrained by conventional cause and effect on a scale that varies depending on the character. In the way that Kratos scales to this is that at the end of God of War 2, he actually travels back in time and witnesses himself fade out of existence, and he does not fade out of existence in current time, right, when he's fighting Zeus at the end of God of War 2. So he has acausality, and he would be able to resist anything that would relate to cause and effect, which is what the infinite rotation is. He also has inaccessible speed, as we established, so no form of time stop would work. In case that Jobber wants to bring up any form of time stop from other characters, since I am giving him every character within JoJo. Kratos has conceptual erasure. He fought the literal concept of fear at the end of God of War 3. And just to establish, we are using God of War 3, who scales above current Kratos as well, who has the infinite fourth dimensional feats, because current Kratos no longer has the God of War power, hope, nor does he have, and he's rusty, right? So God of War 3 Kratos has soul manipulation. He's capable of perceiving abstract concepts and ideas, so he would be able to view stands as well and attack stands. He would be able to tank anything in relation to a stand's attack, right? Because he has tanked attacks which are infinitely more powerful than what would be being provided. I already went over conceptual erasure, where he can erase ideas, physical forms, and souls. That's what conceptual erasure is, when he destroyed the concept of fear at the end of God of War 3 against Fear Zeus. He has weapons like the Blade of Olympus, which negate durability, drains life force upon attack. He has the Blades of Chaos, which drain life force. He has the Boots of Hermes, which amplify his speed to an unquantifiable degree above inaccessible. Being as he has all this speed without the Boots of Hermes. He also has the Golden Fleece, which allows him to reflect attacks on par with what his attack potency would be, as he reflects attacks from Zeus, who scales to him to infinite 4D. He has also time-related abilities and hacks which work on characters who have resistance to time hacks, right? In the instances of Zeus. Yeah, he has control over time, as shown at the end of God of War 2, which he does remain in God of War 3. Kratos has resisted conceptual erasure, meaning that he would therefore, by proxy, resist existence erasure, soul-based erasure. And I think that's all I need for Kratos to win this argument, so I'll leave the rest to the judges. Jobber, you can now conclude with your points and whatever else you want to add. I'll go on mute.
Hello?
Yeah, it's
You hear me?
it's
Yeah,
your
it's your
turn.
turn.
Yeah.
Huh?
Your closing
It's your turn. You can conclude and add any points you want.
I was making sure I could hear me. My mic's acting up. All right. So basically, in my concluding point, right? So I'm just gonna go from the beginning of the debate and just go at the end, right? So basically, what was it? Yeah, Kratos agreed to Tusk ACT4 having inaccessible speed. He gave you that point because he can prove that Tusk ACT4 didn't have inaccessible speed. So that should put him on par with Kratos. Keep in mind that most of the information he gave, he didn't give any. He mainly gave it in his conclusion and not as proof in the debate that what he's saying actually exists. So I just take that as moot. Now, so when it comes to like the power of Tusk ACT4 as I described it, right? So the thing is with Tusk ACT4 is, let me say here, trying to move this around. Okay. So Tusk ACT4 is he transcends dimensions along with Valentine, which I've also given showings of, and the multiverse in JoJo. When it comes to how they have time and operate that, it's so it's basically like all like no matter given a point, if it like number of four-dimensional universe space time continuums, right? The three spatial one temporal, and all physical space and time. That is what it means to be basically, dominant over space and time, which I've shown a skin of Iraqi saying that they're supposed to be that powerful, which would at least make them high multiversal, or in terms of what Kratos is saying, infinite 3D along with Kratos. And the thing is with that is that since D4C Love Train transcends dimensionality in terms, right? And like Tusk ACT4 was able to basically one-shot him, it should at least make him 5D since from the scaling I'm going off of, Funny Valentine was actually, high multi. So the thing is, another thing with Tusk ACT4 is that it's not causality hacks. I don't know where he got that from. Because it's never like all the scans I posted, they all state it's a rotation. There's nothing implying that it's causality, so that's something he made up. And what else? A sec here. But yeah, and the thing is, Kratos already agreed that JoJo has like a multiverse instead of just literally infinite, like like universes, right, with their own space-time continuums and stuff like that. But the thing that we're contentious over is whether our definitions mean like more than the other. Let's see. And the other point we went on a tangent about was King Crimson erasing time. Now I feel like I had this unlocked because most of the things he was saying and throwing about time stop, about the drops of blood, don't really matter when like it's shown, said by everyone in the series and by the author himself multiple times, even in guidebooks, that this character actually does have that function of actually erasing time. And it's just his ability in the end of the day. And also there's certain words, once again, dominate space and time, so he meant for that ability to be actually that high. So he's actually doing that. And I feel like I provided enough proof when it comes to that. And when it comes to the argument for me and Kratos about it, it mainly just came all down to, well, I'm just gonna imply that maybe this happened rather than all the evidence that's pointing to something that like erasing time actually did happen. If that makes sense. And Kratos did try to use the anime against me with the stars, but I rendered it mute because it didn't happen in the manga. There's no stars in the background. But other than that, I think that is, yeah, I think that's all.
Cyber, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
God. Okay. Both agreed initially on that it would be a mix of both tiering systems, at least as to how I heard it when I was cutting in between work. So, with that said, I think enough evidence was established that time wouldn't be inherently like by itself like messing with just time would mean anything. It's a temporal dimension in comparison to the spatial or mathematical, however you want to term it, dimensions, right? So the thing that was agreed upon both of you was that sending an infinite amount of 3D universes would eventually get you to the 4D attack bonus that you both established your characters as having. Kratos argued that Kratos has way higher AP because the strands go on and like basically the construct in itself was argued to be far more impressive than the construct that was argued for Love Train. So in that case, that wasn't necessarily refuted. So I think with that, problem becomes that Kratos has what would be termed as infinite 4D. Now for the 5D for that was argued here, I'm going to be frank. Dominating does not mean you both did not go into a like definitions argument fair, so I have to judge it myself, right? So with that in mind, right, domination does not mean surpass everything. In fact, I think the scan is problematic in arguing that, because if you look at the scan, let me make sure that I'm everything correctly. Well, I'm going to scroll all the way up to the first. Okay. He says stands are endless. Wait, why was I pinged? Oh, okay. Stands are endless paranormal powers that can, and I quote, sometimes destroy matter, sometimes spread plague, and sometimes dominated space and time and interfere with the rules of the world. I think that last part, interfere with the rules of the world and dominate space and time, go head to head. He's not saying that they transcend space and time on some existential level. He's mentioning that they have the ability to dominate space and time with their own abilities, which is true. You have multiple different stands that can mess with space and time, right, and quote unquote dominate it. But I don't think this means anything for attack bonusy at all. Next argument was basically that like because it can one-shot Love Train, which has the construct that's basically 4D, that would mean a dimensional difference. The problem with that one is you can be higher into 4D and you can have scaling chains in for 4D characters. And if you want, since it's part of this debate, the whole notion of infinite 4D and like just I guess what we would term as quote unquote baseline 4D, whatever you want to call that, there's a differentiation, right? So I don't think a one shot would inherently mean a different dimensional difference. This was brought up earlier, and I think it was the best example. The two-dimensional square, I think, with the one-dimensional lines, right? You can't fill it. You both agreed that no amount of one-dimensional lines will fill that thing. So the same thing here. There's a humongous gap that you can have within the 4D tier. So that doesn't mean that that would inherently mean it's a 5D feat. So I think Kratos would have inherently proven that his character has higher AP because it wasn't refuted that the construct itself was infinite 4D. If that had been refuted, then there would be more discussion. Next point, being accessible. Since it was gifted, Kratos decided to just say, we'll go with it because Kratos already was also established as being that. I feel it's a moot point to go over. Wasn't the other large big one like who won the point on how King Crimson works? So
Yeah, if he actually erased
that one is
time. Yeah.
the debate on erasure. So that one, I would agree that. Okay, here's my take. Before anyone executes me, Araki has given those translations, right? If I was in, I'll say something after I give my judgment in relationship to the. But Araki gave those statements, right? But I feel this is also you should have both established a hierarchy of basically how to take feats or statements. So I have to give my own hierarchy in this.
I did do that.
My system.
I did do that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I said if feats contradict what the author says, then what the author says is obviously
I
wrong.
heard that in your conclusion, but did you say that before the conclusion?
Yeah, I have it recorded. I did say that.
Luma. Okay, if it's in the recording, then sure. If that's the case, then did Lumos? I hate to ask you because I didn't hear like the entirety of the debate because
I don't believe I remember hearing that before conclusions, but I could be wrong on that personally.
You can always go back in the recording on that point. Regardless, I don't think it's too important. I would have, if it hadn't been stated, I would have to insert my own system here, or at least my own take. So since I'm the one, okay. So to cut the story short, I feel like if a author statement is contradicted by the like the narrative itself, or if we have contradictions on screen, and that harms the validity of said statement. With that in mind, getting into the discussion of the destruction of time, like if time was actually completely erased, there shouldn't be any like motion of the blood, because that suggests like if we were to take that as literal time erasure, right? That would mean that there's some pocket of time that hasn't been erased. But the argument is he has erased all of time, not some unquantifiable portion of time. We also have a character statement that time was skipped. And
Well,
if you take both the
well, I mean,
you
personally, I
can
feel like I
contest.
defended that point pretty good.
I'll
Don't
get to that in a
interrupt the
moment.
judgment. Don't debate the
Yeah.
You
judgment.
can
sorry.
contest my my conclusion after Lumos gives his. So if you want to, but at that point we'll reach the end. Anyway, I was going to get to that. You did make an attempt at defending, but here's my problem. Your erasure argument and the skip argument, both of them do not create an inherent, like the skip argument doesn't create an inherent contradiction as to your interpretation of the sequence of events, right? The skipping doesn't contradict any. The only thing that would be contradicted if you took the erasure statement literally from the guidebook statements, which again would due to how time works, and if we're arguing the entire like time itself or temporal dimension was deleted, there should be no motion. I've already explained that like that would mean a pocket of it is still present, which is not what the statement says at all. With that in mind, I think that the one that would have the least assumptions that doesn't create any narrative contradictions would be the skip interpretation. I do feel that you both could have gone on that more, and it became a little too. I know that already. Like there was an apology, like the toxicity level of quote unquote was already discussed, but I feel like that could have been its own thing.
Very toxic.
But anyway, that's my verdict in general. So I'd say that I feel like not really any much hacks. Jobber, you didn't bring up too much new hacks in your conclusion. I'm not too big of a fan of the. Although granted, it was permitted for Kratos to bring up his hacks in his conclusion, but I feel like that's not really needed. I feel like everything already is culminated in the fact that he has higher AP to a massive degree, and
the temporal argument, even in itself, if you really think about it, was never too important to the debate anyway. Like, it doesn't really matter who won King Crimson, because it doesn't affect anything at the end of the debate. Since time like would be irrelevant to just affecting time here would be irrelevant to like an AP increase or anything like that. So I'm going to give it to Kratos on those merits. I will make an attempt to stay in call a little bit longer if you want to have a discussion regarding my conclusion, but I'll let Lumos go.
Okay, so like before I say anything, Kratos, I have a question for you. You've been in the debate community a long time, haven't you?
Yeah, like 5 years. I've been in
5
the actual debate
years?
community since I was younger, but this specific community,
Yeah.
like 5 years, 4 years.
You know, the longer you talk, the more I believe I recognized your voice. I want to say you had a really brutal debate against somebody fairing Shao Kahn against Kratos at one point in time.
Jade?
And I want to say I listened into that.
Yeah.
I recognized a lot of these arguments, ironically enough, from that. So it's funny and kind of weird to come across someone like that in here. So thanks for making it in.
I love that you're
outside of
fucking.
that-
I love that you were there, dude. I love that you're like a knowledgeable member of the community as well. That's cool.
Yeah, that's I was like, dude, Kratos, and his voice sounds so damn familiar, dude. I swear to God, I know him from somewhere.
Yeah, that's me, bro.
But Jade, that's who was Shao Kahn. It was Jade, I want to say.
Yeah, me
but
versus
outside
Jade,
of that, yeah, outside of that, man, I like to debate things I like to like judge these based on two things. One is rhetoric, and two is like two is like knowledge / what you present, I guess, more so than anything. In terms of rhetoric, your experience shows whenever it comes to rhetoric. You're very good at swaying the crowd to your favor. I will give you that. And you're also very good at veering away from points whenever you don't necessarily want them to be discussed by any means. So in terms of rhetoric, I definitely give you the win on that one. You are much more persuasive in what you do, and it definitely appears that you've had this conversation more than one time before in terms of experience with dealing with this rhetorically. In terms of content, we did cut this short, and I would like to say that this whole debate feels kind of poopy simply because things were cut so short and things were getting so wacky. If there was a greater understanding of what exactly that tiering system was at the beginning, which is a fault to Jobber, unfortunately, but it is one either way since he agreed to it. I think if you had understood that, we would have had a much different comprehension on where this debate was going. So I think in terms of feats, you did present a higher, regardless of how we choose to view all of our different perceptions of the tiering system, it does appear that Kratos had a higher feat than him, even though we did cut everything short. Like, I personally would like to just declare this a mismatch due to, like, confusion. But if I was forced to choose, I'd probably go with Kratos. But what I would like to see is maybe Jobber study up on some Kratos lore and dig into that tiering system more and see if he can later on utilize that effectively, like in like a secondary debate or like a follow-up debate or something along those lines. But yeah, so I guess that's kind of my analysis.
I would really love to teach, like, I don't mean this in any type of condescending way at all, but like the amount of stuff he was saying in relation to time and whatnot, I would really love to teach him how scaling actually works if he'd be down for that at all. Because even if we take these, being as you're done, if you're done with the conclusion, I wasn't using every single definition from character stats. I was also using logic as well, right? Outside of what was defined in verse battles and what was defined in character stats. And it's like, I would really love to teach him or help him in that regard, because a lot of the shit that he was saying is just blatant wank, right? He may disagree, right? But from my perspective, everything that he was giving was blatant wank, right? And I was giving him numerous points throughout the debate, which I disagreed with anyway. But I gave them to him, not because I couldn't refute them, but because I wanted the discussion to continue flowing, and because even though I did give him those points, they didn't affect how Kratos would interact, such as the inaccessible speed, it didn't matter, right? So, yeah, I just would like to add that point as well.
I mean, that's fair. Debate's over.
But,
you don't really have to,
yeah.
you don't have to add anything else.
Not a point, but
But
I'd like to let that be known. is how
No,
I
that's
should
I
have
have to
phrased
go
it.
at the moment. I apologize. I thought I was going to be able to stay longer. I was going to say one thing in relations to Lumos's thing. I kind of agree that I wish this tiering system confusion hadn't been present, but I feel there was enough agreement with early examples of like between the two on how dimensionality should work.
The first
Like the
dimensional
example, the
spline, yeah.
2D square, right? I feel like that
Yeah.
was enough to establish that we both had at least had basic understanding. Well, not and then there was enough consensus at least early on for me to at least be able to use something to judge where you two have placed your characters, and that's where my judgment
I
came off.
agree. I just wish we hadn't focused on it for like the first 40 minutes of the debate. It's my
How
definitely
long has this
issue.
been going?
It's definitely
How do I check time on OBS? Yeah, 1 hour and 44 minutes.
Anyway, I need to dip.
This is a lot of
If there's any
editing, like-
contentions with my verdict,
gonna stop
I'll
recording.
probably be on it.